What's going on, guys? Nekoyami here, back again today with another competitive X and Y Wi-Fi battle. Again, today I'm battling my good friend Omega, and I got mad respect for him. He is the guy who taught me, he actually taught me how to play competitively. When I first started, I had no idea what I was doing, and he actually took the time to explain to me what I was doing and what I needed to do to make sure that I was playing properly. But anyway, looking at his team, it seems he's got an amazing wall here. Porygon 2 is a huge threat. That is a massive special defensive wall that can also take a physical hit. I know the EV spread he runs. That Gliscor I knew was going to be a problem looking at my team. His Vaporeon, I'm not going to deal with that. That Vaporeon was right. And he's got the Chandelure, so I can't go straight for any kind of fighting move or normal type move, especially with, so almost renders my Lucario useless. And that Mega Aggron's going to be looks like it was going to be a problem. And then he's got his Dragonite, which to me it just seems off. And then looking at my team, I feel like it's fairly balanced. But we'll see how this goes. I feel that once I can get that Chandelure down, my Terrakion could be able to rake up, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, starting off the battle. Let's see what's going. Alright, so I lead off with my Victini. My Victini is Choice Scarf, so naturally I'm going to want to lead off with that. If nothing else, I can get in a hit before it dies, but I wouldn't do that. I don't run U-turn on my Victini, so I wouldn't, use U-turn. I wouldn't be able to use U-turn even if I did. Here, I'm thinking, okay, I should be able to take it out. Actually, I didn't even think I was going to take it out. I go straight for the Blue Flare, because I knew he was going to Mega Evolve, and it one-shots his Mega Aggron, which honestly surprised me. Ran the damage calcs later, and only had a 50% chance to OHKO him. So I was a little bit scared here. Now, here, if I hadn't been choiced into a move, I could have gone straight for the Thunder and might have been able to paralyze or even, I believe, OHKO it. But I knew a Toxic was coming in, so I had to switch out. Sylveon was the best one to take that. I probably should have gone into Lucario, knowing that the Toxic was coming, but I also didn't want to break the Focus Sash had he gone for the Scald on his Vaporeon. So that was the reason why I did switch into my Lucario, since it is Focus Sash. Here, I got no reason not to, I could have gone for attack. I knew he was going to stall out for a turn of toxic damage, and there's just nothing I could have done there. So he's smart. He's going to withdraw. He doesn't want his physically defensive Vaporeon to take any damage. He goes straight into his Gliscor, which confused me a little bit. But I knew he was probably going to switch out into something, so I just switched. I decided to get off a little bit of damage. I do a decent bit to his Gliscor. The next turn I know he's probably going to protect, get that little bit of toxic heal back, since he's going to get the Toxic Orb at the end of this turn, giving him Poison Heal at the end of the next turn. So I'm going to switch out. He predicts me quite well. He's faster, so he switches straight into his Porygon 2, which is especially defensive wall. I don't know why, but he does predict me quite well, and actually does get his Gliscor out of there. I bring in my Lucario, and I'm thinking, my Lucario is the best thing to deal with this, with the Gliscor that was just out. Now he goes for the Thunder Wave. I knew it was going to go out. I wasn't sure if he was going to go out into a Chandelure, so I was hesitant to go for the close combat. Ends up, kicking me in the ass. And here he does go out into the Gliscor, take what he thinks is the close combat, but I was fearing the Chandelure, so I went for the Crunch. And with that +2, it does actually do an immense amount of damage. He does get the Poison Heal back. I'm still paralyzed, which, kind of sucks, but, it's something I can work with. He goes for the Earthquake, and I'm like, okay, I can take any one hit. I can take any one hit. I am Focus Sashed. This Focus Sash is amazing. Focus Sash Lucario is powered. So I go for another Crunch. I wasn't sure if 2 Extreme Speeds was going to take it out, so I just went for the Crunch because I knew it was going to knock it out. Here he brings out the Chandelure, and if I hadn't been paralyzed, or my Sash hadn't been broken, I might have been able to live. But 1 HP, I'm not going to live that, and I'm paralyzed. And his Chandelure is Scarfed. So, he's fearing now, since he's choiced into that Shadow Ball, he's got to get out of here. And I knew he was going to either go into the Vaporeon to take the Surf, or he was going to go into his Porygon 2 to take the Dark Pulse. And I do go for the Dark Pulse, it is the safer move. I don't want that Water Absorb on the Vaporeon. And this does nothing. That does like 10%. That is ridiculous. I go out into my Dragouge, because I'm like, at the time I was like, I can have this thing paralyzed. should have gone out into my Sylveon. I really should have gone out my Sylveon because that would have wasted the Thunderbolt and my Dragouch wouldn't have been paralyzed. Here he goes for the Ice Beam, and Dragouch is amazing special defense. I'm not even specially invested, and I take that over half, and I get paralyzed. And I'm thinking, you know, alright, whatever, I can deal with this. And then I go for the Protect, trying to get just a little bit more HP back at the end of the turn, survive another one, and you know, something. No, he gets a crit. I get paralyzed twice in a row, and both me and him, we hate hacks like that, but you know, it's something we had to deal with. So I go into my Victini. Wasn't the smartest move. I probably should have gone straight into my Sylveon, had him go out, had him get, you know, cleared out because there wasn't much he could do. I could have Toxic him, and he could have switched straight in. He could have switched into something to take the Toxic if he didn't want his Porygon to. But, you know, I didn't think clearly that turn, so I swapped into my Sylveon, predicting the Thunder Wave. Smart on my behalf. But I do get that Toxic damage out. And I go for the Toxic, and I'm thinking, yes, I've broken his multi-scale. And you know what? Any other Dragonite would be, but Lumberry. Smart guy running the Lumberry on here. And I'm thinking, okay, he's probably gonna get up a Dragon Dance or go for an Earthquake. So I am royally I'm done here. My Sylveon's gone. He goes for the Dragon Dance, and I go for the Moonblast. If that multi-scale had been broken, this might have been a dead Dragonite if I'd gotten a crit. But since he does have the multi-scale, the Moonblast isn't gonna do but like 35%, which sucks for me. Absolutely sucks. But, you know, I get my leftovers back, and I take the third turn of Toxic Damage. Correct me if I'm wrong, it might be third or fourth. Goes to the Earthquake. There's no way I'm lifting that after a Dragon Dance. There's no way I was going to live that period. I'm fully specially defense invested. So I got in my Victini, you know, kind of scare him out. And he goes to Extreme Speed. Honestly, if he had just gone straight for the Earthquake here, I would have been done. This would have been a much shorter battle. But I go for the Psychic. I had the feeling, since it was, you know, it wasn't resisted and it was stabbed, would do the most damage. And he goes to the Extreme Speed again. He has to get that damage off. And the second Psychic takes it out. After I lived with 9 HP, which I honestly thought I wasn't going to live that second Extreme Speed. He sends back out his Rubber Duck. I've got no reason not to just stay in and sack off my Victini. It's put in the work that it can, and unfortunately, as much as I would have loved to have it for the Vaporeon, it's not going to hang in there with 9 HP. I didn't want anything to take a Tri-Attack, so I had to just sack it off and let it die. So I go out in my Terrakion. I love Terrakion. I honestly say, this was the first Legendary I started to use, and I fell in love with this. This thing is a monster. You know, I go for the Stone Edge, and it's the thing that hits his team neutrally. He still has that Chandelure I've got to watch out for, otherwise I might have been able to take out this Vaporeon in 2 hits. But I have to account for that, so he goes for the Scald. I switch to Micro Ninja to take it, and of course I'm going to resist it. And I go for the Dark Pulse. I'm going for the Flinch. If you watch the first battle I had with Omega, I got 2 Dark Pulse flinches in a row, and it almost was able to let me win the battle. But unfortunately, I do not get such luck, and I get Toxic, thus putting the timer on Micro Ninja. I take a little bit of Toxic damage at the end of the turn. Of course, he's probably going to go for a Protect here, just to get that HP back that I had done in the Dark Pulse. I got to switch out. I switch straight back into. I've just got to get rid of this Vaporeon. I've only got Greninja and my Terrakion left. So unfortunately for me, I have to rely on a crit. I think it was, yeah. I think a crit Stone Edge would have taken out this Vaporeon from here on out. I gotta lock myself in the Stone Edge. There's nothing else that I can do. I know that the Chandelure runs Energy Ball and its Scarf is going to beat me, so I have to run, and he gets the Scald off. Unfortunately for me, that seals the fate. If I'd gotten a crit on this Vaporeon at this turn and landed the Stone Edge, I might have been able to recover from this. But he goes for the Protect. He gets that little bit of leftovers back. I'm locked in the Stone Edge. There's not much that I can do, unfortunately. So I just have to go for Stone Edge after Stone Edge after Stone Edge. And he goes for another Protect, hoping to get that little, stall me out a little bit more of Stone Edge, which is smart on his part. but I do manage to get that crit that I needed before. But, you know, Hacks is Hacks, the gods aren't pleased. He comes in with the Chandelure, of course this thing's Scarf. It's gonna take me out. I think I might have been able to live one hit had I been at full HP. But, my Terrakion goes down, and I'm left with just my Greninja. And unfortunately for me, that's just not going to help me because he goes for the Energy Ball, as he is faster, since base 120 speed's faster than I think Greninja's 117, since Chandelure is Scarf. And that is the close 2-0 victory in Omega's favor. Now, it would have been hard for me to get through that Porygon too, I'll be honest. But regardless, looking back on this team, I felt that I played fairly well. And he felt that he played fairly well, and we both enjoyed the battle. If you guys like this, feel free to leave a like, feel free to leave a comment if you want to battle me. My friend code is on my Twitter. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you'd like, because that's where I like to update, mostly on Twitter. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later.